In this video, you're going to learn 3 truths about improving your worship leading. These are things that you need to know in order for you to actually improve your worship leading. If you don't know them, you won't improve. Coming up. Hey there, my name's Spencer from leadingworshipwell.com, your daily dose of practical worship leading tips. Before we get into the video today, I've got a big announcement that I want to share with you, something I'm really excited about. I've been working on this for the past couple months, and it finally comes out today. It's called 30 Days to Leading Worship Well, and really, if you want to improve your worship leading, this is a great way to do it. It's a 30-day challenge to drastically improve your worship leading. I won't go into too much detail here, but that sounds like something you're interested in, a 30-day challenge to improve your worship leading where I walk alongside you every step of the way, just click the link at the top of the description. But enough about that. Let's get into today's video. Let's get into what we're actually talking about today. 3 truths about improving your worship leading. And I'm so passionate about improving your worship leading. I mean, that's basically all I talk about is tips to improve your worship leading. And why do I do that? And why are you here, right? It's because you want to improve, but you know that it's really hard to improve. Like, if you aren't focused on it, then you won't be improving. Think of all the other things that you do, that repetition that you find yourself in your worship leading, where you're just doing the same thing over and over again. That happens, right? You get stuck in the cycle, and there is some benefit to that. You can improve slowly over time, but if you actually want to take gigantic steps forward in your worship leading, then you need to focus on it. So let's talk about these 3 truths about improving your worship leading. And the first one is this. Number 1 is nobody is going to ask you to invest in yourself. Nobody's going to come up to you and say, hey, I know that you've got songs to plan. I know you've got team members to schedule. I know you've got slides to create, but I really just want you to take a few moments this week to invest in yourself. That conversation never happens. People don't ask you to improve. They just ask you to do things. And it's not their fault. They're thinking about all the things that you need to have done, so they're asking you to do that, but nobody ever is considering you improving as a worship leader. So if you don't do it, no one is going to ask you to do it. It's your responsibility to make sure that you are improving in your worship leading. So you have to make time for it, which brings us to the second truth about leading or improving your worship leading, and that is if you don't make time for it, it's not going to happen. If you don't make time to improve your worship leading, you will not improve. In no system, in worship leading, in any skill, do you just drift towards improvement. That doesn't happen. Either if you aren't focused on it, either you just stay the same or you get worse. That's how it works. I think of the second law of thermodynamics. Boom, mind blown, right? That it states that everything in the universe is descending into chaos. It's not getting better unless an outside force acts on it, which is proof of God, but also proof for us that if we don't focus on improving our worship leading, then we will not ever get better. So you have to make time for it. So are you making time to improve in your worship leading? Because there are a million things that you could be doing in your worship ministry. You could be picking out songs for Sunday. You could be scheduling volunteers, like I talked about before, creating slides. There's like a million tangible things that whenever you finish them, you can look at them and say, okay, that's done. And those are really easy to plan for. But what's really hard to plan for is that actual personal development piece, because at the end of your personal development, you can't really show that to somebody. They might see the benefits of it after a while, but you sitting down and watching a 30-minute YouTube video, a lot of people probably would view that as a waste of time. But good leaders know that the best place that they can invest in is themselves first, because when you become a better leader, it affects everybody around you. But like I said, that's not a measurable thing. You can't tell somebody, hey, I watched watched a 30-minute YouTube video and here's what it looks like now. So you have to make the time to invest in yourself. And if you don't make the time, it's never going to happen. You're never going to improve. So what does your commitment to investing in yourself look like? Are you taking time each week or each month? I would do it each week though. I would have it set up where each week I have an hour. Imagine if you just dedicated 1 hour each week to learning something new and figuring out how to apply it into your worship ministry. That would grow your worship ministry leaps and bounds from where it is right now. So if you don't make time to improve, you will not drift towards improvement. And finally, number 3, the third truth about improving your worship leading is that it is the key to getting unstuck in your worship leading. Do you feel stuck in your worship leading? Like we talked about at the beginning, do you feel like you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again and you're not really improving? Well, this is the key to getting unstuck in your worship leading, is whenever you learn new things. Sometimes you just need to work on what you already know, but eventually you're going to reach the end of your knowledge and have to learn more about leading worship. And that's how you grow. You learn and apply and get better at that, and then you learn more and apply and get better at that over and over again. And if you don't do that, you'll get stuck. So with that being said, once again, those 3 truths about improving your worship leading is number 1, no one is ever going to ask you to do it. It's your responsibility to do it. Number 2, that means that you have to make time to do it. There are a million other things that you could be doing. But honestly, one of the best ways that you can spend your time is to invest in yourself and improve your worship leading, because when you're a better leader, it affects everybody around you. And then number 3 is, if you feel stuck, this is the key to getting unstuck, to breaking that plateau in your worship leading. And speaking of getting unstuck, that's why I put together a free training for you called the Get Unstuck Training for worship leaders, because I know how easy it is to get stuck in your worship leading. And this is a free training. It's a 3-part video training where I show you the exact steps that you can take to get unstuck in your worship leading. So there's a link to that down below. It's only available until this coming Tuesday as of when this video is out, and then it's going to go away for a while. So don't miss out on it. Go sign up for it now. Link in the description below. And thanks so much for joining me today. I'm so glad that you are passionate about improving your worship leading. I think that's amazing. Also, remember 30 Days to Leading Worship Well came out today. You can find that in the description as well. So look into that if you are really serious about improving your worship leading. Thanks so much for joining me today. Once again, my name is Spencer Cormany from leadingworshipwell.com, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.